Katrina came, and I had 9 refugees in my house for over 2 months, family members from New Orleans. And the hubris of man, master of his environment, struck me as particularly meaningful there. This was a few days later, rather. He's holding a sign that says, "Leadership, please." And this is, of course, the skyline of Chicago and a truck saying, "We're from FEMA. We got here as fast as we could. We understand a cow started a fire." For those of you who traveled here by plane, and I did, you put your left foot in, you put your left foot out. You put your left foot in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself about. That's what it's all about. Now remove your shoes. I hate the TSA. Short story, I was traveling with a congressman from Birmingham who's on the transportation committee. And the guy said, you don't have to show your boarding pass once you go through the metal detector. And the guy who was the TSA agent said, yes, you do. He goes, no, you don't. The guy says, well, that's the rules. He says, no, they're not. I write them. He still had to show his boarding pass. Did you ever think you'd pine for the salient days of John Ashcroft? Bigger brother is watching you. Followed by, of course, Attorney General Gonzalez at the kiosk at the mall saying, plus it comes with unlimited anytime surveillance minutes. And this is the comic strip Prickly City. Those of you unfamiliar, Winslow is a coyote cub. Carmen is a little girl. His and her are their best buddies. He says, you've been what? She goes, fired. Attorney General Gonzalez felt I wasn't hard enough on Democrats. Can he do that, Carmen? I'm not really sure of Winslow. Just don't tell the FBI. Just don't let the FBI hear you ask that. Too late. So she's on her can phone and she says, so they got caught. Some folks think they are above the law. Just who do they think they are? She says, we're the FBI and we're here to help. Don't you need a warrant or something? She's so quaint. So pre-post constitutional. She's on the can and says, don't you guys see that by abusing warrantless eavesdropping, the terrorists win? And the voice from the can says, hey, that's our line. Can she do that? Not without a warrant. Can I hear you now? And then Dick Cheney doesn't get away with it, and he's there shooting people saying, sorry, I thought you were the Bill of Rights. Again, going back to my father in arguments, he's sort of my litmus test of the far, like the Fox right, and what you're supposed to think. He says, what's the big deal? The Vice President of the United States shot someone in the face. That's the big deal. No, that's not such a big deal. Well, the last time it happened, Aaron Burr killed Alexander Hamilton, and they thought it was pretty important. This is the Department of Just Us. Now, this is a group I can say just the Kelo decision on eminent domain. You guys will know what I'm talking about. And so the door's been opened. In the name of Walmart, Costco, a larger tax base in the U.S. Supreme Court, I claim this property. I just love the drawing of the old lady with the cats and she's knitting and her TV's busted. Conquistadors and old ladies, that's funny. Rosa Parks, an Alabamian, passed away in 2006, and then followed a few weeks later by Coretta Scott King, two great pioneers. And so she's just saying, saved you a seat home, Coretta. I like this one. This Anna Nicole Smith saga is the stuff of tragic, frivolous tripe. Put it on the front page? Of course! Color and a graphic! You want an obit cartoon boss? What do you think, numbskull? Brokeback budget. Why can't I quit you? I don't understand. I call them the neocons. They're statists, they're interventionists, they're big spenders, and the growth of the federal government has been preposterous under the Republican rule. So I like this one, balancing the company checkbook. Close enough for government work. Tax and spend, or spend and spend. He's going silly liberal. They were debating U.S. Senate ethics. And American people just want to compromise. They weren't going to get it. And so here, the 300 millionth American was born right in the middle of a campaign. Vote your hate, vote your fears. And the child is saying, I changed my mind. The Democrats are getting cocky, and if you look at the interior decorators, which is kind of fun to draw, and Pelosi there, and they had a right to, because a few weeks later, blammo. We got our, well, my party, we, us, me, okay, me, got our tails handed to us. But it didn't take them long to show what they were coming from, so it's a famous thing, we can do it, saying, we can't do it, the anti-surge resolution. Here's a guy, this is a different issue. Any of you know how to draft an immigration bill? It says, doing the work Americans won't. And that launched into a prickly city. He says, so sure we do it. She goes, no way. Says, heck, they work cheaper and they take the jobs most of us won't do. He says, I just never imagined undocumented coyotes. He says, they're great, hardworking and no complaining, at least as far as we can tell. Carmen, do you know what este coyote el diablo means? I'm tired of having this conversation, so I've hired this guy to have it for me. This conversation just got a whole lot more complicated, didn't it? He goes, okay? What happened to your undocumented stand-in, Winslow? Oh, he got picked up and sent back yesterday. Oh, that's too bad. I'm going to miss the hola. Those border patrols must be getting tougher. He was back before breakfast last time. And this is Iran and my first new kit in the UN saying, looks like someone's asking for a timeout. This is PBS. Based on the fact that they were giving them their mailing list. Housing prices. Say, honey, did you see where the bubble went? This is the diaper astronaut. It says, we've added another layer of testing. You notice it's eHarmony. It says eHarmony on the screen for those of you in the back. I'm in. Hillary the first, and if you have to look closely at the top of it, and there's Bill with a cigar and his pants down. I love this. A lanky unknown from, in fact, Lee Salem wrote me a note describing why this cartoon was oh so wrong. And then I wrote back telling him why it was oh so right. But it says, a lanky unknown from Illinois with almost no experience running for president? I'm telling you, it'll never work. I like Obama. I disagree with him on his politics, but the guy speaks what I call the poetry of politics. I love hearing optimism and, you know, the good that's going to come of your administration, although I disagree with it. On the other hand, you have Hillary saying, I'm all about the little guy. There's the little guy. I can't believe you're still gloating, just to show that I can make fun of myself. I can't believe you're still gloating over the fall of Tom DeLay, Winslow. I mean, you ought to show some grace. When Democrat fails, Republicans don't gloat. He goes, no, they impeach. She goes, yeah, but with grace. And this is just a slice of life one. It says that it's what told people I was cool, a latte liberal, a rebel. But now, Apple runs Windows. It says, it can be a cruel, cruel world for techno-elitists, Winslow. He says, only my razor stands between me and the abyss. Winslow leans in, says something to her. She froths at the mouth. He walks away proudly saying, Pavlov's dog had his bell and conservatives have Hillary. Hillary Rodham Clinton, George W. Bush. And they both start. He says, common ground.